Hi, and welcome to another battle report. This is 2500 points, Ogres versus Empire. As for start for my deployment, behind that hill I have a Hellstorm. And what's good with the Hellstorm, it's always firing indirectly, so you can place it behind some impossible terrain, which makes it hard for the opponent to get it. On that hill I have 5 Pistoliers, no equipment on them. Then I have a Great Cannon, and next to the Great Cannon I have 10 handgunners with a Hochland long rifle sniper. In that unit, within 3 inches of the cannon, I have the Engineer. I usually have the Engineer with the Hellstorm, but since he's Ogre army, strength 3 small template won't do much good in this game. Then I have 50 swordmen with my Witch Hunter, dual pistol. His primary target is his BSB, but he's not man size, so killing blow won't help. I have a BSB with armor of metallic iron. Then I have my general with Downstone, enchanted shield and sword of antihero. Then I have a mortar, which in this game won't do nothing because he's high toughness and multiple wounds. Then I have 5 Pistoliers in that stupid forest and a other Great Cannon. Then I have 39 Flagelants with a Prophet of Doom, a champion. Then 12 handgunners with Hochland long rifle. So after a recommendation I would try out Lore of Light, and I got Speed of Light, Protection, Time Warp, and Banishment. But I actually think Lore of Beast is better for my army, so I will later change back to that, and Lore of Beast doesn't comp so hard as Lore of Light. My wizard, by the way, is armed with a scroll, and he is hiding in the second rank of my swordmen. And for my opponent, this is after his vanguard. So we have 7 man-eater, which vanguarded. They have dual pistols with poison and swift stride. Then behind that hill he have 2 units of 2 Mournfangs. Then he have some iron guts, 9 of them with 3 characters in it. He is BSB, his Tyrant and his Firebelly. What item he have on them didn't really came up. I remember he have 4 up ward save on both his BSB and his Tyrant, if I'm not mistaken. Then he have 10 Gnoblars and 4 Bulls. For his other flank he have 2 units of 10 Gnoblars. Then he have 7 man-eaters with the sniper, and they did have another upgrade, but I can't remember what it is right now. So that's it for his deployment. And this picture also shows my vanguard. You can see my Pistoliers have moved forward. For his spell he got the Fireball and Flaming Sword. I got less drops than him, so I got the first turn. So I start by wheeling my Flagelants a bit to face his man-eater on this flank. Then I push it up my swordman 8 inches, and I move my Pistoliers to his flank to maybe later do some redirecting if necessary, and that's it for movement. In the magic phase I get off protection on my swordman with a miscast, and I roll a 5, so my wizard suffers a wound and I kill I think 7 or so swordsmen. In the shooting phase my first cannon takes 2 wounds of one of his iron guts. Then my second cannon kills 2 of his 4-man Oger unit, but he have leadership 10 rerollable, so I guess he have standard of discipline on his iron gut unit. and my handgunners takes 3 wounds, I think, on his man-eaters, just in the corner of this picture, and that's it for shooting. So for Ogre's turn 1, he pushes up his Gnoblar and Iron Guts. He moves his man-eaters up, but I still can charge him with my Flagelants, thanks to that impossible stone over there. Can't wheel in. And he pushed up his Mornfang a little bit, also auto charge of my Flagelants. On his other flank, he turns his Gnoblars around a bit. He wheels up his man-eaters to firing at my swordsman, and his 2-man unit of ogres move behind that house, so that's why you can't see them on this picture. So for his magic, he gets off the 2nd level of Fireball, which causes 2d6 strength 4 hit on my handgunners. I let it go because I was more afraid of he casting Flaming Sword on his sniper unit. And that's it for magic. In the shooting phase, he tried to snipe out my general, but since I have a 2-up rerollable armor save, he didn't do any wounds on him. So that's it for his first turn. So for the Empire, turn number 2, I start by moving up the Flagelants to face his man-eater, so he really can't get away from them anymore. And I also push up my Pistoliers to cover up the Flagelants flank from his Mornfang and his Iron Guts unit. And that's it for moving from this flank. On this flank, I just pushes up my unit of swordmen 8 inches towards his line. In magic, I get off the protection spell on my Flagellant, and he dispels Speed of Light on my Flagellants. And that's it for magic. In the shooting phase, my Pistoliers do 2 wounds on his Mornfang unit, and my handgunners do some damage on the man-eaters, but none of that really matter because it didn't cause any panic test and they stick around. On this flank, my Pistoliers kill some Gnoblars in the combined fire of my handgunners, but they didn't panic and they stick. I think one of my cannon undershot and the other kill 1 Iron Guts, and the Hellstorm do some damage to a Gnoblar unit behind that house. The Ogre player do a charge with his man-eater and his Mornfang, but the problem here is when we talk about the Flagellants rules, I forgot to mention the Martyr rules, which simply makes I take a d6 strength 4 hit every turn in combat, and if 1 die, I got to reroll to hit. If 2 dies, reroll to wound. If 4 dies, 1 up combat resolution. So I forgot to mention that, and you will see in combat what will happen and why this really matter very much for him. Mornfang and Iron Guts charges my Pistoliers. He first charge with his Iron Guts, and I reason that if I don't standing shoot at them, he won't charge with his Mornfang. So I do a standing shoot at his Iron Gut and maybe do like 1 wound on them, and that's it. On this flank, as you can see, his Gnoblar is fleeing, and that's because he tried to charge my Pistoliers. For me needing 6s to hit, I roll 2 6s, and I kill 2 Gnoblars, and they fail their panic test and they run away. And his other Gnoblar unit just get in the way of my swordmen to stop them from moving. And this is what happens when Flagelants do what they are supposed to do. As I told you before, it was me forgetting to inform him about the mortar rules, and I roll a 6 and I kill 4 on my own, so I get the full bonus. I kill the Mournfang outright, and I kill, let's see, he was 6, so I kill 4 of him in combat. He killed like, I think 15 of my Flagelants or something like that. And that's it for this combat. I have to pursue him because I'm frenzy. I also want to point out that even though I did a very big mistake, he was pretty okay with it and took it very well, because like this is a practice game, not a real tournament. So he's a real nice guy, so that's it. Of course, he killed my pistoliers in this unit. His Mournfang chose to overrun and run into that stupid forest, and his Iron Gust just reformed to face my Flagelants. This is actually the only picture I have of turn 3, but that's because not a lot of things happened. As you can see, I move my pistoliers in front of his man-eater to block them from charging my swordsman. My swordsman killed the Gnoblar, and after that I overrun 11 inches, and that's a little bit too far because now his man-eaters and his bulls have a potential flank charge. I don't think my magic did anything at all. In shooting, not much happened. I think I killed a Mournfang with my cannon and the other one under shot. So that's it. Oh yeah, my Flagelant, they passes the restraint test to charge his man-eater on the other flank, and they just reform to face his Iron Guts. So we quickly move to his turn number 3, and he makes that charge with his Iron Guts into my Flagelants, so I know that they are going to die in this turn. His Mournfang make it into my cannon, and of course he kills that, but when he overrun he only rolls a 6 and didn't make it into my mortar, unfortunately for him, and I place my cannon out of 6 inches from my mortar, so my mortar didn't have to take a panic test. So that's it for this Mournfang. On this flank he did not charge, but he did a smart thing with his bull unit. He moved them up so I cannot wheel around to face him, and he takes his man-eaters and Gnoblars to trying to take down my pistoliers. And well, in this combat I don't know what to say. He has to roll like crap. He couldn't kill my Flagelants. I do 2 wounds on his Tyrant, I do 1 wound on his PSP, and I kill his champion. He of course wins this combat, so I lose my frenzy, but I am unbreakable, so I stick around. So for the Empire, turn number 4. As you can see, I only have 1 pistoliers left, so his shooting phase wasn't very good. He tried his man-eater and his Gnoblar shoot at them, but the dice is not with him this game, so he couldn't kill them, and I passed my panic test. And for my movement, as you see, I move my pistoliers out of sight of his man-eaters, and I reform my swordman into horde to face his line. And since my handgunner can't shoot at anything, I just move them backward 2 inches to get it harder for the Ogre to make that charge. You can ignore the casualties on this handgunner unit. It's just showing that I moved them up. The casualties will come later in this game. My engineer also go out of this unit and place himself 3 inches within the cannon. And the heat-seeking laser beam sniper cannon do what it always does. It kills his Mornfang outright. In the combat, he killed my 4 Flagelants, and he reformed into a conga line to have an easy charge into my handgunners. So, for his turn, his Iron Guts of course charge my handgunner, but I choose to flee, and the reason is that if he would make it into me, he would kill me, and then he would get a reform for free. But if I would flee and he would catch me, he will have to take a leadership test to reform, and the best thing happened for me. I ran off the board, so he just failed charge, and so his Iron Guts are out of the game, and they can't really do anything for the whole game. So I gladly sacrifice 130 points to keep his Death Star out of combat, because I have no possible way to hurt that thing with the units I have remaining. In here he did another smart thing. He moved up his Gnobblers to prepare a double flee maneuver, and that's it for movement. In the shooting phase, he finally managed to kill my pistoliers with his man-eaters, and that's it for his turn number 4. And for my movement phase, I charges his bulls first. He flee, then I charge his Gnobbler. They also flee, and they flee through that man-eater unit, so I fail the charge, and I just stumble forward a couple of inches, and that's it for my movement phase. My remaining cannon firing at his tyrant, hoping he fails a lookout sir, and with his bad dice roll, that's a very likely possibility, but I undershot and misses him. So for his turn number 5, he moves up his Gnobblers to stop my swordman from doing anything. Turn 6, and in the shooting phase he snipes out my Witch Hunter with his man-eaters, and both his Gnobbler and his bulls rally in his turn. So that's it. He's, by the way, also reformed these guys to get closer to my mortar and maybe do a final turn charge on it. And for my turn number 6, I charges his Gnobbler, and I of course kill them. Then I reform to face his man-eater, and hopefully he will charge me. And my shooting phase doesn't do a lot, so for my cannons I tried to snipe out his general. I overshot him a bit, but it still hit both his fire volley and his BSB, but he passes his lookout sir test, and I think I killed like an Iron Gut instead. And I also moved my mortar far as possible away from this conga line of Iron Guts. And for his turn 6, he tries to charge the mortar, needing double 6, and he don't roll a double 6, so he fails that charge. His man-eater with sniper rules also move into that house. That's it for his movement. This is just unfair for him. So in the medic phase he rolled a 5-ball, the big version with 3d6. I let it go because I was far more concerned of he getting off the flaming sword on his man-eater to snipe out my wizard, and he only managed to do a 5 wounds on my handgunner, and I passes my panic test. So he takes his man-eater to shoot at my handgunner, but unfortunately he only kills 4, so I still have one of these guys standing, so we don't get any victory points for him. So that's it for this game. In victory points, the Ogre player managed to win by 200-ish points, something like that. And I actually pretty pleased about my game because I'm facing a very good opponent. Just to show that even though he for the most time roll like shit, I did that very bad mistake with my Flagelants and forgot to tell him how good they really were. He even managed to beat me, so that's it. And I also want to point out, as you can see on this picture, he have a really cool looking ogre army. So that's all. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.